guys, Todd Baker here, and wanted to talk about this week about the big news, which is interest rates have continued to spike. And for many people, you're going to start to hear everybody talking about a real estate crash and what it's going to do to values. And depending on how high they go, could affect values a little bit. But the reality of it is right now, values are continuing to rise. I want to show you the trends of what happened from year over year real quick to give you some comfort. And also I'm going to share some thoughts about what to do if you're looking to sell. Maybe you need to downsize. Maybe you or a family member needs to buy a home, because there's some huge opportunities in this market right now. So the first thing is, let's go to home price growth returning to normal. So here you have a 49-year average price movement month over month. So you can see this sort of reflects the historic selling season. So you come into winter, where it's usually slow, and then we have the big spring, summer selling season that starts to tail off right around back to school, and then tails down to a lower amount. That's primarily based on buyer demand and seasonal sales opportunities. So more listings, more buyers. This is the selling season. March to August is the primary selling season, with the peak from April to July. Although there's always some decent activity around Christmas, and then it slows down a little bit in the winter. So let's look at the 49-year average versus 2023 price movement. So last year, if you look, we actually had a small correction in prices, very small, a few percent from November to February. And you can see after that, we had it sort of roared back, and we actually beat expectations, which is why this year we should see about a 4% increase in value. Now, we don't know waiting on some of the final numbers for August and September, but we know based on sales, these are coming in, and we might see a dip a little bit going forward. So the reality of it is that when you hear negative information on social media about a sales crash, most of the influencers that are putting it out there are not housing data analysts. And they're leaving out certain key facts, and one of which is inventory is at historic low amounts, meaning we have lower inventory than we've had in decades. So the last housing crisis, we had huge foreclosures and a flood of inventory. Right now, we have very little inventory, and no one is missing house payments because everyone has really good mortgages, and the mortgages were underwritten correctly. That being said, I've been talking about for the last several weeks, there's life events that cause people to sell homes. And there's life events that are going to require you to need to sell or move or buy a new house that start to trump where the rates are at. And you can still operate in a high rate environment. And in fact, rates are just simply more back to historical norms. The average 50-year average for a mortgage is in the 7%. And keep in mind, mortgages are over 30 years. So even though they're way higher than what they were, you can still buy a house. And here's the thing. This is huge opportunity because sellers aren't used to this kind of market. And what we're starting to see is that the days on market, meaning that from the day it's listed to the day it's sold, has gone from maybe 14 days up to 30 and in some places 60 days, which means that those sellers have become very flexible. And what we can do with that is we can get all your closing costs paid, or we can get a payment subsidy for up to 3 years for your mortgage, and sometimes a combination of both. And then remember, if you're in your own home and you need to do debt consolidation or you need to do home improvement, I'm now doing home equity loans and home equity lines of credit, and we can keep that really low first mortgage. For those of you who want to stay in place, keep that in place and just refinance the rest of the debt into a better cash flow and lower blended rate situation. So give me a call. So I hope you find this helpful. I hope you have a great weekend. And I'm long on U.S. housing. Texas has a systemic housing shortage, so your investments are safe. And we might see rates continue to rise for a while. But like I said, anybody, family, friends, neighbors, anyone you know looking to buy or sell, have them reach out to me. I'll help build them a great mortgage plan. So have a great day.